Good evening, Say.
Hi,
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. How's it?
Always well.
Yeah, that's good.
How is the market?
Yeah, the market is paying well.
Ah, wonderful.
VIX,
What's happening?
the VIX 75 move.
VIX is still playing in one area like since morning.
Yeah,
It's stuck like in sort of like an asymmetrical triangle, of which
yes.
I'm expecting a break to the downside, but we're just waiting. We're just waiting to
Okay.
see what it's going to do. But it's just been stuck ever since morning. It has been stuck in one area.
Yeah,
This is
I
just
saw
one
that.
area. Yeah, so we just want to wait and see how it's going to end up, but I'm anticipating to break to the downside. So do you trade currencies?
Yes, I trade currencies.
Which one? Specifically?
Yeah. Aussie USD.
AUDSD.
Yes.
Why that one?
Uh, it it, it offers good setups.
Well, that's your reason.
Yes, and uh, it allows the my equity to be kept well.
Or it's not volatile.
Yeah, it's not that volatile.
Okay. So you only trade this one only, or there's another one?
Uh, and gold.
Okay. So we'll just look
Yes.
at this one, then we'll go to gold, then we'll look at other things later. So let's just
Okay.
analyze together and see what the AUDUSD is doing. So
Okay.
I'm on the weekly time frame right now. So you use
Oh,
TradingView
that's
to analyze, right?
yes.
Okay, wonderful. So this is the weekly time frame. Weekly time
Okay.
frame, we saw that we pushed to the upside. Let me just grab mine. This okay. So if you check price push to the upside, this was just long back, but I'm just trying to give a rough analysis from starting from the weekly. So uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, right?
Yeah.
Right. So currently we have been in a major downtrend, and I hope you have been focusing on selling.
Yes. Yes. I sold today.
Enjoying profit.
Yes. There was a big move today.
Right. So what happens when you trade along the direction of the overall market? Rarely do you find losing trades when you follow the flow of the market. For example, when the market is flowing to the upside like this, when you try to look for more buys than sells, rarely are you going to experience manipulation on your trades or stop loss hunts, things like that. Things like that, they happen when people try to trade against the flow of the market. So the current flow right now of Aussie USD is to the downside. We have seen that on the weekly, right?
Yes.
After we have seen that, the next thing that we need to identify is an area of support where this market can bounce on that same weekly time frame, because already we can see, okay, let me just mark if ever there's any area of significance, right? Where it is currently, where it is reached now, that's an area of significance. If you check respected here, It was respected, then broken, retested, broken, went up. So currently, if ever that support is going to hold, what I'm expecting is a bounce from that support.
Okay.
A bounce, then it comes back to this recent lower high, break market structure, then maybe go up. That is if ever this support is going to hold, because according to this, it broke this support. According to this move, broke this support. Then this whole move came back to retest the broken support. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So currently where AUSD is at a very critical level, a level whereby we are now looking forward for some bullish momentum to start to kick in. So this is the level. So once I've done that on the weekly, another thing that I can do, because I prefer, especially when it comes to currencies, I prefer holding trades, because currencies, they're good when it comes to swing trading. Currencies, they can flow in one direction for a very long time, unlike other instruments like your indices and what, but the currencies, they can actually, so when it comes to swing trading, they're actually good. You can actually hold them for quite a number of days, just holding one particular move. So that trend line to the top is just to guide me for the buys that might happen. The buys that might happen, that trend line is going to guide me as a target to say, I'm targeting that one as a TP. First TP, once it fails to break above there, it means it's simply going to continue selling up until it breaks either to the upside of that trend line or to the downside of this support. So that trend line roughly it's acting as a resistance, major support here.
Yeah.
Right. So just looking at the daily time frame, you can see that somehow it's sort of like a double bottom. If ever it's going to hold, this can actually be a double bottom.
Okay.
It can actually form a double bottom, then go up. That can actually happen. That can actually happen according to the daily. Another thing that you can look at, you can also consider this trend line as well as a form of guidance to say if ever that trend line is broken as well, you know that some of the buys are going to hold longer to my second target, which is that trend line. So either use support and resistance as target, or you also use trend lines as your targets. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm looking at that level here. Key level, respected, it can come and respect here as well. So I've drawn my significant areas. I don't need so many lines or so many trend lines. These ones are the major ones that I'm currently looking at. This major support is going to guide us. If ever it rejects here, we know that we're going to take our buys. If ever it breaks here, we know that we're going to continue with our buys. Then we are looking forward to the upside. So I'm just scaling down to see what the lower time frames are also saying, just to confirm with what the higher time frames have already told us. So there we are. So if you check for Edcove, the whole of today, it was simply selling. This was a selling opportunity, which you could have actually, did you manage to enter here?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And are you still in or you came out?
I came out when we were arriving at that support level there.
This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So this support level, it's actually now a key area now. This is going to determine what we're going to, our next move for the ODSD. To check the, this is a break.
Yes.
After this break, our first target is always the next trend line, which was this one. If ever someone took buys, your first target was going to be that trend line, of which you're supposed to stop there, then obviously sell, because overall the flow is still to the bullish side of things, bearish side of things, I mean. So right now, most probably this can be a break and retest. If ever it rejects here, break of this trend line, retest. If ever it rejects here, that can actually be a retest. Then it continues all the way to the upside. But so far for today, the opportunity was simply sales. That was a clear selling opportunity. That was a clear selling opportunity. One could have even entered very well there.
Yes.
If you see price, the market created a level of resistance. So you went to a lower time frame, you would have even gotten a reasonable stop loss there. So I have this area here like that, or even here, or even there. Created resistance. After creating resistance, faked out. After faking out, it came back inside. So today also there was news. Did you see that?
Yes.
There was also news that also played a part in the overall thing. News was also involved. So a lot of things here. You had that trend line. It could have guided you for the sales, or even this bottom trend line.
Okay.
So either that top one or this bottom one, both of them, they were going to guide you for that sell. You understand?
Yes.
Right. So that was a clear opportunity. However, it was a very good opportunity. That one, very beautiful one. So what we now need on the what we now want to see is a rejection on this support. Once we get the rejection on the smaller time frame, then we look forward to start entering. Look forward to start entering our buys. We look forward to start entering our buys. So another thing that can guide you, you can also look for a trend line that can guide you to start entering the buys. This trend line as well, it makes sense if ever you also want to start entering buys. That trend line as well, in as much as it's a very small one, but it also can guide one to even start entering their short-term or buys. So once that one is broken as well, it can guide you, because overall we are at a major support, and on a major support we expect buys to actually bullish pressure. We expect a bullish pressure to kick in. So if ever all goes well, once we get if ever you were following our videos, you will realize that for the market to make a U-turn to start going up, either we are going to see something like this, double bottom, triple bottom, head and shoulder, what else? So these are just examples of things that you can actually look out for, as well as further confirmations when you are about to go long. You realize that before it went short, we actually had a form of, in as much as if ever there was no news, because this whole candle is because of news. If ever there was no news involved, this market could have actually went down based on this double top here. Top, it was just going to flow according to this double top. So that double top was going to be further confirmation to say we're now going down. But because of news, that is why we have this huge candle like this, all because of news. So before we make a U-turn, these three signs, we actually have to see any one of those. If you check here, before it actually went up, going down, then before it actually went up, formed the double bottom here, double bottom, double bottom, then went up, came back down. So it's sort of like a double bottom as well. Bottom, bottom, double bottom, then boom, we went up. Came back here, first bottom, second, third, something like a triple bottom, or even double bottoms, double bottoms. First double bottom is this one, first one, second one, first one, second one, like that. So you see that all these were signs to show you that now we are about to reverse to the upside. Same as here, we need to see signs of reversal. Something like this, double bottom, triple bottom, inverted head and shoulders. They just have to be visible. Either it's going to go up, come back down, then we go up. That is going to be a double bottom. So any one of those is going to be further confirmation to say we're now going all the way to the upside. Once we get those ones, we're going to take our buys. First target, as I've said, is that trend line there. Top of the trend line, which is that one. The top of that trend line. There. So do you understand? I hope it's clear. Is it clear? Mr. Jack, how are you?
Good, good. How are you, my brother?
Yes, I'm well, I'm well.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Didix.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see you there.
Yes, I just joined you late.
No, it's fine. My Joe, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you, Megan?
I'm fine. I'm very, very fine. So we are now on gold. We are now looking at gold. We just looked at AUD USD, which was the first currency that were given by Mr. Tino here. So that was the first we're looking at. So now we're looking at gold. So gold, I'm on the daily time frame. This white line that I've placed is a very significant level of support according to gold, right? Major support area. It was respected here, respected here, respected here, respected there. So that is a major support according to gold, right? So what I'm doing now is what I call the top-down analysis, starting from the top, going all the way to the bottom. So according to what I'm seeing roughly here, gold can form a double bottom before going up. The same thing that it did here. Went up, then came back down to form a double bottom, then boom. Went up, came back down to form a double bottom, then boom. So that is what I'm expecting. So what you know about every double bottom, you always know that every double bottom has a neckline. A neckline is this. This is a neckline. Can you see it? This as well here. This as well here, it's a neckline, the left there. So double bottoms, how do you trade double bottoms? If ever this is going to be a double bottoms will either enter here, which is going to be an earlier entry on the second leg. Our first target being this lower high, which is the neckline. That neckline will be our first target. Once it's broken like this, we expect a retest to that same neckline. Then we take further buys all the way to the next recent major levels of support and resistance. So that is my neckline. My other levels at the top there, I'm looking forward to this area. Why did I mark that area? That area, if you look at that area clearly, the market rejected so many times before breaking this area. Rejected, broke, retested, then went. So that is a very significant area. Even in the future, the market possibly is going to come back to that same area. Right? That area can be our TP as well, same as this one. So this double bottom, if all goes well, it's going to push all the way here. First target, once we break the neckline, we look at this and as well as this. So we scale down to a lower time frame. 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, here we are. So on the 4 hour time frame, we can as well place any trend lines that can be relevant to us. If ever there are any trend lines that can help us to enter our trade or to enter our buy positions, we need to actually draw it. This trend line, it's a very significant trend line. Once it's broken, you know that our buys are going to hold longer to the targets that we have mentioned. So now I have this level of support where I'm expecting the market to come to form a double bottom. Once the market comes here and forms a double bottom, we are simply going to enter our buys on the 15-minute or 30-minute or 1 hour based on candlestick confirmations like the bullish engulfing or any other chart patterns like the double bottoms on the smaller time frame or the triple bottoms or the inverted head and shoulders, depending on which one do we have. So currently it's going to push all the way to the downside. So currently gold is presenting selling opportunities. Currently, as of now, up until it reaches this target here. So this target is simply the target that we're expecting maybe to start seeing some bullish pressure. But so far now, we can see that already there was a break there. Break already, we are flowing all the way to the downside. And we also have this level that has been broken and retested. This was a level of support, broken, retested. So now we are looking forward to the next support, which might be this area here. Before we reach to the major early level around 1681, which is our final TP for the sales. So far as of now, gold, we are looking forward for selling opportunities, further selling opportunities. We're looking forward for further sell. So this is the support, broken, retested, broken, retested like that. So now we are below the support. I'm expecting price to push all the way here, all the way here. From there, we look to 1681. Do you understand? Are we together?
Yes, I'm getting you, sir.
Yes. So my moving average is just a further confirmation to add to my total overall analysis. It's just further confirmations. It's just further confirmations to add to my overall analysis. Let me see. Okay, so this is the 1 hour support, broken, retested. Let's go to a lower time frame and see if ever there's anything that we might need to see as well. Right, so here we are. This is 30-minute. This is 30-minute already. We can see that price is still playing below the support, but it's sort of like ranging before it breaks either outside down to the downside or to the upside. So what you do whenever you see a range like that, you wait for the break either to the downside or the upside, of which right now we're anticipating more to the downside more than the upside. But if ever, just in case it breaks to the upside, you simply can take those short-term buys, maybe somehow to that retest, maybe before going down. But right now, our major probability, we're expecting most probably to the downside more than the upside. So that is a range that you can already see. That is a range already that you can see. A range, let me just draw the range. This is the range. A range is simply a moment whereby the market is playing in one area, forming the same highs, the same lows, touching the same highs, the same lows. So this is the range, this box. I'm expecting, so safe trades are always going to be taken outside of this range. Safest trades are always taken outside of this range. You don't just enter. Better wait for the break. So once it breaks to the downside, we'll take ourselves first TP, second TP. Once it breaks to the upside, our TP is simply going to be this retest of this broken trend line, because it can retest there and continue going down. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Sure.
for gold, this is all that I can say for gold. That is all that I can say. Already we have scenarios to the buy side and as well as to the sell side. So whichever happens, it means we are still going to win. If it respects the selling side of things, we are going to win. If it respects the buying side of things, we're also going to win. So for gold, that is my current lookout. That is my current lookout for gold. Any questions before we move on? Any questions on gold? Anyone with a question on gold?
It's clear there.
Okay. So that is what I'm looking at. Once it breaks to the upside, we'll take our bias, short-term bias back to the trend line. Maybe that might be a retest, because according to that, maybe it might follow this double top. Double tops and double bottoms, as I've said, they always have a neckline. That might be the case here. Maybe it wants to go back and touch the neckline before continuing to the downside. That is also a good thing, because once we manage to take the buys after the break of this range, we'll simply go and take sales on that neckline as well as this trend line. That's double confirmations: neckline, trend line, moving average. All those confirmations, we'll simply take ourselves there as well. So if it comes there, we'll take ourselves. If it breaks above,
Yes, I actually took a sell there.
here, you have a sell there.
On the second
The second one,
yes, the second yellow
this one, here, here,
oval.
this one.
No, the other one.
Okay, this one,
The middle one.
this one. So
Yes.
okay, so that is what we are looking at. Once we break outside of this
Yes.
range, if it breaks to the upside, we'll take our buys all the way to this area. Let me see how many pips are that. How many pips is this? Something like So there you can actually risk something like 27 pips to make 132 pips, which is a reasonable one. So this move, either to the upside or to the downside, we're going to win. So we just wait for the break of the range, then we'll take our buys above and our sells if ever it breaks below. Are we together?
Yes.
That is it for gold. Or USD, I think we explained as well. Any other instrument that you want us to look at? Any other instrument that we can look at before we close?
VIX.
Oh, you want VIX?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's my love.
Okay, VIX. This is VIX. VIX, there's nothing much to talk about. We are simply waiting for the break of this. It's sort of like a range, but I don't call it a range. This is a triangle, an asymmetrical triangle. An asymmetrical triangle is a triangle that you find in a case whereby the market maybe was going down. As it was going down, it begins to play around sort of like, so this is an asymmetrical triangle. An asymmetrical triangle now, it will be forming lower highs, higher highs and higher lows, higher lows and lower highs, right? Let me see. Can
I
you see
was
that?
having a question. Yes, I can see.
Yeah, what's your
Yes,
question?
my question is, one, what makes, because I've heard that a lot of people saying that VIX 75 is more simple than trading gold, because I started with gold when I started and I lost a lot of money in gold. And my second question is, when somebody knows how to trade market structure, that means you can combine all market. Is it going to be the same? Because I'm seeing on gold, there's also that double bottom, things like that. So is it all things, are they going together in the same way, or
They work
different?
They work in any market. It's just the application, how you apply the thing on the different markets, but it's the same.
Okay.
They flow the same. You just apply the same thing in different markets. So VIX, this is what I'm expecting. Once we break out here, can you see that triangle?
Yes.
Once we break out of this triangle, I'm expecting a huge push to the downside. I'm expecting a very impulse move to the downside. So either we can have something like this, break, then retest, then go, or just to break and go. So on the break there, I'm expecting the market to really push. So if you're already in on the sales since morning, the break there, you simply add more sales upon the break, upon this break. Once we break there, you simply add more sales. Your stop loss just above this triangle. Then our target is this level here. Our target is that level there, which is a level of support according to the 4-hour and the daily. So once we break out of that triangle, let's scale in, add more sales, then we hold. These are trades that can actually, you leave them running overnight even if you're sleeping. Was one thing that I've witnessed, if ever it ranges during the day, it's going to move impulsively during the night. If it ranges during the day, during the night it's going to move so impulsively that many people who like to sleep without taking such trades, they will miss these trades. You wake up and you find it down here. Then you begin to scratch yourself and say, why didn't I take it? And you start to force trades there. So I'm expecting an impulse move that is going to happen and continue happening overnight. So just make sure everything you are in and your stop loss is just there, safely there. So long as above this triangle, it will be safe. You just leave it running, and we see how it moves and flows tomorrow. Once we break below, we are simply safely sure that most probably we're now going all the way to the downside. So why am I really confident about that is because of the overall market structure. Market structure is bearish. We are seeing lower highs, lower highs, lower high. I also have this Fibonacci, point A, point B. I'm seeing that it's respecting the 38.2. Whenever you see Fibonacci respecting the 38.2, it means the momentum to that particular direction is so strong. So the momentum here to the downside is so strong. If ever it's respecting the 38.2, once we break this triangle, you're going to see the impulse move happening all the way to the target. As well as our moving average is confirming to the sell, market structure is confirming to the sell, Fibonacci is confirming to the sell. So even this triangle, once broken, it will also confirm to this sell. You understand?
Yes, I get you, sir.
Yes, so that is the thing. That is what we're expecting.
Hello?
Yes. Any question?
I don't have any question, but I want step index or B5, one of those instruments, but I'm setting step index right now.
Okay.
I just need direction.
Okay, let's have another session after this one. This one is ending, I think, in a minute from now. We'll have another session, then we'll cover that step index and B5, and we'll also look at other things, if ever there are other instruments to look at.
Okay.